What if the single word chosen to define your identity at birth possessed the ultimate power to split your universe into three entirely different destinies? In her dazzling, wildly original New York Times bestselling debut and celebrated read with Jenna Book Club Pick, Florence Knapp crafts an emotionally devastating yet profoundly hopeful masterpiece. Blending a high-concept sliding door-style premise with an intimate, raw exploration of domestic survival, The Names examines the terrifyingly long tale of repercussions born from a single moment of maternal defiance. The story ignites in late 1987 in a small British town, immediately following the catastrophic destruction of the historic Great Storm. Emerging from the literal wreckage, a deeply traumatized woman named Cora sets out with her intuitive 9-year-old daughter Maya to officially register the birth of her infant son. Cora's husband, Gordon, a highly respected local family doctor who hides a sadistic, controlling, and terrifyingly abusive nature behind a mask of neighborhood prestige, has explicitly commanded her to pass down his name. But standing before the registrar, Cora hesitates, paralyzed by the realization that inheriting his father's name might mean inheriting his cruelty. In that fleeting fraction of a second, the narrative fractures into three distinct, beautifully parallel timelines spanning 35 years, tracking the vastly different men the baby becomes based entirely on the moniker she chooses. Gordon, named after his father to appease the tyrant. This version explores the darkest path of generational trauma, showing a boy raised in his father's direct shadow, manipulated into becoming a weapon of emotional abuse against his own mother. Julian, the name Cora privately dreamed of, chosen to grant him an independent spirit. Guided by his artistic grandmother Silbe and a compassionate mentor named Kyan, Julian builds a life working with his hands, finding a chosen family of fellow creatives. Bear, a name suggested by big sister Maya, who fiercely believes it is the kind of name belonging to someone soft, brave, and big-hearted. Bear grows up to be a resilient, free-spirited soul who must navigate intense love, boundaries, and his own cataclysmic reckoning. The Names is far more than a playful exercise in nominative determinism. It is a meticulous, gut-wrenching portrait of how an abusive environment warps an entire family structure. Knapp, who is also a master quilt maker, deftly stitches these timelines together like a literary patchwork, finding profound meaning in everyday details, photo booths, and old tiles. Brought to life through a deeply affecting, emotionally resonant audiobook experience, this extraordinary novel will leave listeners utterly weeping, forcing them to reflect on their own unchosen paths and the beautiful, unpredictable resilience of the human heart.